Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's another day in the evil markets of Forex, and I thought I'd make a video today talking about patterns again because I just love Forex, and I just love looking at the patterns because I stared at the chart so much. I really see the patterns now, and I thought I would just show the strategy I'm trying to do. I look like a sack of shit because I just woke up, but yes, onto the devilish charts we go. So this is Euro USD, and I thought I would show you all the patterns that I basically see. I learned a lot of this from Falcon FX, that course. I don't particularly follow their rules for the trading, but just like understanding the importance of like pattern recognition and patterns just really helps me. Also, I'm really sick, so I probably sound like I'm dying. But I normally, as always, I start on the top time frames, and I can't get any more. This is the furthest back it goes on TradingView, but straight away I see we're in a massive bearish flag in like, this is like years and years and years and years worth, like this. So I think over time price is going to come back up, hit here, then continue down. And the way, this is just how I look at it. I don't think this is probably what it is, but this is the way I just tell my brain to like help me understand. I just see every pattern, like block pattern, I tell myself it's like people with the big money or the institutions. They like make these because they have to like hide their orders, because when they want to move price they can't just do it really obviously, because then everyone would see it was like manipulated, or they're like moving the price where they want it to be. But they do it in like mini tiny, like, I hate the word order block, but little blocks to then move the price all the way down the time frames. And because they're constantly doing this, probably, I don't know if it's by algorithms or what, because they're constantly doing it, repeating the same thing, this creates patterns. And I just think because it's always repeating the same thing, it creates the patterns within the market. And yeah, this is like an example on USD. So then now that I see we're in a massive bearish flag, I then continue down the time frames. So then now that I've done this, I can then look for more patterns within these patterns. So then here I see a pattern like this. So then I just, but I also, every line I do, I copy parallel. So if I see a pattern, I copy the line where I place it and then copy it parallel. So we see this is a massive pattern, and then because it broke out this pattern, it's then gonna come, in my theory, come down, but it can still come up because it's still within this pattern. So it's like we're in a massive pattern within a ginormous pattern. And then I can see here is another pattern within this pattern. And isn't it, that's what's so crazy. This is why I swear the markets are like, not manipulated, but something fishy is going on. Because if price was just completely random and it wasn't manipulated or just going anywhere it wanted, there's no way it'd be a coincidence that all these patterns line up. I just feel like it's just not, it just wouldn't be possible. But yeah, then so I see here's like another pattern. So I copy this and then drag it up. I haven't got the data, so I guess it would have been up here, but it cuts off. So that's a pattern within a pattern. And then within, so basically, so we're in this massive pattern, and then within this massive pattern, there's two more patterns. And then within these patterns, there's going to be more patterns, and that's when I then work down the time frames to find the other patterns. So then if I go to 3 month, so we see within this pattern, you see the other juicy patterns. And this is why I just find it so fun. Like, even like the market's closed now, but I just do this even when the market's closed, not making money, because I just find it fun. I don't know why. So then I copy, so this again is this is on the 3 month time frame. So you see here's a massive flag, a massive bearish flag here, and then it's shot down. So again, we're in this big flag, and then these two patterns, and then within this pattern there's this pattern. And then if I then, sorry, this might be a really long-winded video, just bear with me. So then within this pattern there's this pattern, and then within, so there's a pattern there, and then within this pattern there's another, more patterns here. But then I will then, so this is basically a pattern. So on the 3 month, you see where we broke out of this pattern. So now here it's going to probably create a whole big pattern to then come down. I won't do any of this bit at the moment because it'll probably be really long-winded, but if I then continue drawing me patterns, but I like Euro USD because I feel like Euro USD is like the easiest to see the patterns. And then I think, is it GBPCHF? You can really see the patterns on there as well. But yeah, I'll try not to waffle so much. So I can kind of see here's a pattern that's like a mini pattern. And then, so remember we're on the 3-month time frame. So inside these big, so it might look small now, but this is like massive patterns from like all the way from 2015 to here. So now if I then go skip the 2-month, go to the 1 month, this is also crazy. Look at how mad that is. So remember we're in a big juicy pattern, and then there's 2 juicy patterns, and then within this juicy pattern there's more patterns, and then within these patterns there's going to be more patterns. And again, I think this is because, this is just my theory, probably isn't true, it's just what I tell myself. It's like, here the people with the big juicy money who's got like loads of pocket money, they're like doing this, confusing people in the long run, stacking their orders in the bear and then pushing the price down, so pushing it where they want to do. So they're like stacking orders here, but then within here they're stacking more orders here, up and down, up and down, up and down, and it happens in all the time frames. So that's why I think it's so important to match up where you are on each time frame. So then now that I can see we're in a pattern within a pattern, I then see in here we have another pattern. So yeah, there's a pattern there, and then there's like a mini pattern also. That's kind of, I'll wait till I go down the time frame. That's it. If you're doing this as well and you'll struggle on the higher time frames, you're like, I can't really make out what pattern this is. When you then finish the other ones and then continue down to the other time frames, then it will become more clear what pattern that is, because you can judge as well. If you see this is a bearish pattern, you'll then know this is probably a bullish pattern. Yeah, so I guess I can't really see on this time frame anymore. I can, oh, I guess I can actually. That's it. Sorry, I spot one here. So this is a pattern, another bullish flag. So that's a pattern there. I guess this is kind of a pattern, but I can't really make it out. Yeah, so now let's go down to the weekly. And again, you can see, so remember in this is like a pattern. So like here's a pattern within that pattern. So where was that one I just couldn't really spot? Oh, here. So I remember I said I was like, oh, I can't really make out what pattern that is. But this was that pattern. So now that I'm on the weekly, I can see it a lot more clearly. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, the whole idea of what I do, and if you do this, is like, if you want to trade like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, you just work down the time frames, but because you know what sort of pattern you're in, you can then help you. So yeah, so I see this is sort of a pattern there, so I copy that, there we go. So that's that pattern. And I find on the daily, the weekly is where you can really start to see a lot more patterns. It's like here's a pattern. Yeah, because the market just basically zigzags up and down to confuse people. So like we're slowly in a way like curving to go back up, but before that it's like confusing the hell out of everyone, in my theory, again, stacking their orders. So then there's not an order block, but they're stacking their orders here to make money, to confuse people, but then they're stacking it down this way. So the market in a way is just kind of like in squares. So there's another one. So look, there's a pattern there. So like there's a pattern here. Pattern there, and like I can even see like a cheeky pattern here, but there's just so many like literally everywhere. Like even this bit, I only started trading in 2020, but I never traded around here. But this looks confusing, but I can still kind of make out where the patterns are, if you know what I mean. So I'm not going to do all of them. Like here, if it is kind of like, you can just move it so that I know where it am. Yeah. So now, if now I could be like, oh, I'm kind of confused, like this bit confuses me, so I just go back up the time frames. I'm like, okay, so we're looking to go down, daily, the weekly. I'm gonna get rid of these lines because they kind of confuse me. So this is a pattern. So then we broke out of this pattern, so we're looking now to go down, but we then, before we go down, it might then make patterns to come up to then go down, which is probably going to happen. So then if I go to the daily, we see here, like, look how it's just so beautiful, all the patterns, like, it's a madness. Here's a pattern. And bearing in mind, I'm still not profitable, because the thing I really struggle with is just like I feel like I'm getting okay-ish with the technical analysis, but the thing I struggle with is just my psychology. I'm the most impatient person in the world, and I always like set my stop losses so tight. So I need to just work on my shelf. So here's another pattern. So like on Monday, because I'm telling myself I'm only going to place one trade a day, like regardless if it loses or wins, I'm looking to take a short here, because to me anyway, it looks like price is less likely going to shoot up, because it probably wants to come down, make another pattern, make a pattern, make a pattern, make a pattern to then go up. So if I then go down to the 8 hour, so we're in this daily pattern, and then within this daily pattern there's all these patterns. So I'll try and make out some more here. So here's a pattern. This is kind of a pattern. Yeah, I think this is kind of a pattern. I guess so. It's kind of confusing. Yeah. So then, like I said, we're in this pattern. So on Monday, I need to listen to my rules. I'm only taking one trade a day. So what I'm gonna do is, because normally I just go like down to the 15 to the here, and then what I'll do, because Falcon, what they do, they like, actually yeah, no, don't ignore me, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm telling myself I'm not gonna do such short stop losses for like 10 pips. I am gonna like maybe do like a 35 pip stop loss, and then, so let me put it out now actually. So say on Monday, I'll probably do like a 35 pip stop loss, but I always do want to do like a 1 to 3, but I'll do like a I'll do like a 1 to 3 risk to reward to here, because then to me that looks like the market wants to go in that direction. To me it doesn't look like the market wants to shoot up and go the other direction, because if I then go back to the other time frames, the month, to the weekly, to the daily, like if I wasn't looking at the patterns, I would see that and be like, okay, yeah, I want to take a buy. But when I then try waffle so much, go down, I'm like, actually no, it's like tricking people to go on to the other side of the market. So I actually want to take, or just step to my dog, a short. And what's even, like I said, because everything is a pattern, like even if I go down to the 5 minute to the 1 minute, there's going to be patterns within here to like show what direction the market's going to go. Because I always say, if there's a pattern going zigzagging down, that actually means it wants to go up, because it's like stacking money to then take everyone's money to go up. And then if it's stacking like this upwards, it's like confusing people, take their money to then go down. But then within here, when it's going up, there's other small patterns tricking people to go down. So now if I then go to the 4 hour, like look how beautiful it, like where there's a pattern there, there's a pattern here, there's a pattern, oh bummer, that's patterns everywhere. To the 1 hour, so that's why I think it's so important, if you can work out whereabouts you are on the market with the patterns, you then can go down the time frames to know where you want to take the trade. So like here, if you knew we were in, like, hang on, like the bottom of this pattern here, when you then were coming up and you see a bearish pattern and the break of the green candle, like I would be like, okay, I want to take a buy, because it's come up, taking everyone's money there who's been shorting, because in reality we're within a pattern to go up. And then like everything is a pattern. So like here, it's come up to the top of here, and now it's going down. But then, like I said before, it goes down. It's creating another pattern. It's just, everything is a pattern. So I don't particularly look at the color of the candle. I mean, I do, but I just look for the patterns. yeah. So now if I then go down to the 15-minute, you'll see again there's even more patterns, like pattern, in the 5-minute. Like, isn't that crazy? Like all these beautiful patterns. And then the 1 minute. Let me zoom out actually. Yeah, you can just see all the patterns. So like just beautiful patterns. Yeah. Go at it like an actual crackhead, but like I said, I'm mostly making these videos just so I can look back at them in like a year's time. But yeah, I'm still not profitable. it's so annoying because I keep self-sabotaging myself. The thing I struggle with is just my psychology. I'm so impatient. So if I see a pattern that's like, if I see a pattern within a pattern at the top of a pattern looking like it's going to go down, instead of just setting an alert and waiting for like the right moment of the break of the pattern, I'll just enter the trade and then set a really tight stop loss, and then it will stop me out. And then I wonder why do I keep losing? It's like, that's the reason why. I need to like wait for the break of a pattern and then set my stop loss above the pattern, and then yeah. But if I watched, because I did the Falcon FX course, and I'm so dumb and so ignorant. I didn't watch all of the like videos they provided because I'm just so impatient and lazy. It's actually diabolical. But a lot of the stuff I learned was from their Discord, watching people's like market reviews and what people were saying and posting their screenshot in the Discord. But I just thought if I actually watched them, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching.